This episode is brought to you by Playapod, the best cross-platform podcast app for iOS and Android. Just visit playapod.com and download it for free.
Hey guys, thank you so much for downloading this episode. Paula is out, so we have a special guest, our very own producer Deb, who is also my husband. So we get to recap Valentine's Day, which went not at all the way it was supposed to. As we all know, I'm not a huge fan, but I have my expectations. So we go through that. Producer Deb decides to put in a segment called Backstories. We talk a little sports and, of course, our ugly and awkward moments of the week. Thank you so much.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie.
My brain is like hell.
And filling in for Paula, producer Deb. Next year, your feet will not touch anything but rose petals.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the ugly truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth, everyone. It is episode 252.
Ugh.
Paula, my sister, this is Jamie. Paula, my sister, who I normally do the show with, is out today because she has an exceptional migraine. I understand migraines.
You do.
More than many people understand migraines. Yeah. But we genetically were blessed with this horrible malady of migraines, and it's not just hormones, it's just one of those stupid maladies that people get, and our family has them. So she is out for the count. She did say, which I would have said, she's like, I'll do the shows if I have to. And I said, no, take the day off. I will make producer Deb loves to hear himself talk, so we will let him do an episode this week, and hopefully she'll be back for Wednesday's show. If she's not, then we will find a random
means. Stranger on the street would be better than me for you, I'm sure.
We will find other means. But welcome to the show, producer Deb.
Thanks.
As much as I give you shit, obviously, if you died, this show would end. That's pretty much how that goes.
I like job security of editing the show. That's why I don't want to show you how to do it.
So make sure you drink your water, go on your walks, get your rest, because when you go, this good thing we got going is over.
Well, kind of by default, yes. Well, for those of you who didn't know and may be new to the show, and as if you couldn't tell already, we're married.
I was getting to it.
All right, fine.
Did you burp?
No.
Okay. Thought I smelled food. Sorry.
Needless to say, we're sharing a mic also.
Because we're ghetto. We're garbage. We're garbage podcast people.
We're kind of close.
We only have one mic. But someday that will change, right? We're going to get real microphones and a real board, and I'm going to get new headphones that aren't falling apart.
Well, how long has Mackenzie been moved out? 2 months?
2 months.
Okay. So by the third month, where we have a pretty good idea she's not coming back.
Well, I like to give it a year, but we can still do what we're doing.
Okay, we'll keep a bed in the room just in case. Okay, so there'll be a podcast studio in her bedroom, but we'll leave a bed in there just in case as a guest room.
Yes.
Okay, got it. It'll be an Airbnb podcast studio.
I'm already exhausted. I'm already tired from this.
I know.
Little adventure. Anyway, so welcome to the show, producer Deb. Thank you, listeners, for listening, even though it's not Paula today. We have a few things to discuss. Valentine's Day was this week.
It was.
And I and Paula discussed it fairly extensively in our last episode.
Yeah, you had like a special episode filled with romance and love.
Yes, because we love it so much. Right. We hate Valentine. I mean, hate is a strong word, but we're not big fans of the commercialized affection business.
It's the forced thing. I know
it's
that
forced
really
affection that I do not like. Now, the thing that I have come to learn after many, many years with you is that you don't feel like you're forcing it. Like, you're using this as just an excuse to express yourself.
Another excuse. Like, I try very hard. See, like, the counter to me is, although I should probably do a better job all the time, but and not be the forced thing. Partially because I know you feel like getting you a gift on a non-holiday or flowers for no reason is something you love. It's something I love doing.
Right.
But it is difficult after decades of dealing with holidays and them being made a big deal to just turn them off. And so there's always that little, I'm not sure kind of thing.
Well,
but
I never said
I'm getting
being
better.
With me was a simple task.
Well, of course not.
Never said it was easy.
I knew what I signed up for.
I don't think you did, actually. I think you've started to figure it out later. So with that being said, every year, it's a very strange line that we go through during Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. I have always got a card for you because, you know, I'm not a monster. And I know how much you love it. I know you love expressions of love, and if not of you, because you just love seeing proof that you are loved.
I do, but I also think that you're way more thoughtful than you give yourself credit for. I've gotten some of the best, most thoughtful, simple, but cool gifts and cards and things like that. And so that's, for me, it's more about seeing that thoughtfulness than it is just getting a...
So what I realized yesterday, because we've definitely been hammering out this year's Valentine's Day, because normally you can't help yourself.
Sure.
So you send me a huge bouquet of flowers the day before or a couple days before Valentine's Day. Hold on. Shut up. And I love it because I know that you are using restraint. We've mentioned the card many, many times over the last 2 days. The card. Which was nice.
Yeah,
it was very lovely.
Yeah, as was yours.
Thank you. And then no flowers. And I'm like, well, it's Valentine's Day. So, I mean, I expected them earlier, but I didn't get them. I'm like, all right, that's fine. You know, he knows I love flowers. I'm sure I'll get them tomorrow. And no, nothing. So fully expecting that I'm going to get this big, beautiful, huge, expensive bouquet of flowers that I know I'll love for like a week and a half because they're just gorgeous. So big that I have to actually put them in a champagne bucket. Nothing. I had made the choice to give you a 6-course meal from scratch.
So just to be clear, your desire to do the meal was tied to the fact that you were expecting flowers on a holiday that you don't like.
Because you like it. And I don't think it's fair for me to not allow you to enjoy something that you love.
I see.
And like I told Paula last week, I'm getting a little soft. So I said, all right, fine. I'm going to make him a meal because I know I can cook. And And I decided I would make a bunch of your favorite foods and I would do it in a 6-course meal from early to dessert, like all the way through.
Yes.
And so I prepared all of that in my brain. I had a menu written out and everything, under the impression that we were both going to be doing something inadvertently for this holiday, in which I got a card. And you got a tummy ache because you had so much food.
Oh my God, it was so good. So just on the meal part of it really quick. Thank you. It was amazing from appetizer to dessert. It was awesome. And
by the way, Malia's on my side. Our love child
yes.
is on my side. She completely understands what's happening, and you seem to not be able to get it.
No, I do get it. I just feel like I'm in a no-win situation with this holiday in particular. Mm-hmm. And it is because while you say you don't like the first thing on the day...
I don't!
Stop. I'm talking now.
You're so
you
funny.
You shut me up before.
You think you're going to survive this. This is so cute. Go on.
You're not supposed to have any expectations beyond the card, and yet you do.
I have expectations because of your previous behavior.
Okay, but that means nothing when you continually every year reinforce the fact, and I've got to sit there and edit 3 shows worth of anti-Valentine's Day talk. And so I am now you know this already. You know this already. So, okay, right. So I am arguing that despite your distaste for the day, you have gift expectations.
Yes.
And I get it.
Because why? Why do I have gift?
Because I've done it before.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking for you to admit that is why. It's not because I'm going, oh, I can't wait to see what I get this year. That is not it at all. And here's the other problem, unfortunately, for you.
Okay.
Is that my brain is like hell. And I think really hateful, horrible things about stuff, but I never say anything. And not about you personally, but about like this holiday or whatever. Like people I dislike. I'm thinking literally some of the worst, most violent, vile things in my brain, but I don't say anything. So you think, oh, she just doesn't see that she loves it so much. It's like, no, I really don't. But like when I see I saw people going out to dinner. I'm like, why? Why would you do that to yourself? Well, who am I to judge? But my point is...
Jamie from The Ugly Truth.
Yeah, in my mind,
Yeah, okay.
I can be polite. So I think that just like anything, like Pavlov's dog, every year I get flowers the day before Valentine's Day. I was just expecting it. Now, am I hurt? No. Am I heartbroken? Not at all. But I did create this meal as a reciprocal gift, thinking that you were going to not be able to control yourself and send me flowers. It's fine. The meal was wonderful. We had a wonderful evening. We drank some wonderful wine. We spent some time with our love child. It was great. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry that you feel so terrible.
I do.
Because I still don't have flowers. Even though now it's been like 3 days.
So now that we've covered off on the fact that there were expectations and I did not deliver on those expectations, and I feel horrible for doing so, especially after I got a 6-course homemade from scratch dinner on Valentine's Day, a day you don't like.
Right.
For the record.
Right.
So now I need to tell you a little bit about the flower scenario. Just give me a second to tell you about the flower scenario.
Fine.
I am aware that I get you flowers in advance.
Did you forget?
No.
Okay.
No, I did not forget.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the scenario is that now I should have ventured areas, but there is a particular florist that I have purchased flowers from for years that you love. They're farm fresh type flowers.
Yeah.
It is not one of the ones where there's 27 bouquets to pick from. There's basically 4 or 5 different arrangements, and they just use whatever the freshest American grown flowers they can get.
Right.
And they do 1 or 2 bouquets a day.
Right.
In fact, when I order them for you, I'm not even 100% sure what they're going to look like. I only know what size they're going to be.
Right.
Right. So this is a really great flower shop. You love it because
it's local. It's Bay Area. Yep. It's very, very cool.
And you're not super traditional, so you like a nice, cool, big flower arrangement. So I've always got flowers. Right. So that's where it really comes in, right? Is that when I went to go get them, for whatever reason, now that they actually ship and have gotten bigger and whatever, so now for the 2 weeks leading into Valentine's Day, every bouquet they were showing was 90% roses.
Right.
That did not happen in years past.
Right.
They just stuck to their normal thing, had maybe one special rose bouquet, but literally the bouquet I even normally get you is like packed with roses, and you don't like roses. So I'm like, okay.
Why should I spend $200 on a bouquet?
No, it has nothing to do with the money. It has nothing to do with the money. It is, I didn't want, knowing that roses...
Right.
Which we know why.
I get it. I get it.
So I was like, okay, since I avoid the actual day anyway, I'm going to give it a day and get a bouquet. And so they put up literally like 2 days before Valentine's Day, here are the other bouquets. And so I go and I look and I go, okay, I want that one. That's a pretty color. There's not too many roses in it. It's after Valentine's Day. So I order it. So it will be here tomorrow and you will get flowers.
Okay.
But I got kind of a double-edged sword because I tried to get them early. I tried to do what I normally do. And then instead of going to a different florist or something like that where it's even worse, I was just really trying to avoid the roses. And I had no idea you had this massive plan until the day before about, anyway. So I am sorry.
I know.
And
you don't even have to apologize.
Hopefully you enjoy the little rosé themed
It was just a surprise. That's all. It was just a shocking, stunning surprise that I didn't get anything.
But you're not heartbroken.
No!
You're not mad.
I am not.
You're not disappointed in me.
No, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
But
I am not
shocked.
disappointed. I am shocked. I am stunned. No.
God.
But you know what?
They're not good excuses, but that is why you got flowers after. So.
Look, we have beaten this horse to death for the last week. It is, I like the card. It's all I can say.
Right.
It was fantastic. It was gorgeous. Beautiful card. Thank you.
Well, I have to tell the one little story.
What?
Because when this all was going down while you were cooking dinner last night.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there eating dinner, and I was getting part of this conversation and getting ganged up on by you and our love child a little bit. I just started looking at you like, you fucking wait till next year.
I know.
Oh my God. On Valentine's Day next year, your feet will not touch anything but rose petals. Oh, yeah. There will be thousands of balloons. This house will be changed completely into a pink nightmare, all to celebrate my love for you.
Yeah, that would be terrible. I better get a teddy bear too. No, yes. I don't want anything.
Oh,
I
and
want nothing.
Its heart's gonna light up.
Oh my God.
And every day I'm gonna give you a different chalky candy message.
Ew, don't do it.
It's gonna be awesome.
No, you're not gonna do anything because you've completely misunderstood everything I'm about to tell.
Of course.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. So I'm going to let you explain this next segment because I am the cherry on top of this segment. But as many listeners know, if they've been listening for a really long time, we don't do it as much as we used to. We should probably revisit it, but this segment may be the one.
Sure.
I have this really weird thing where I people watch when I'm out in public or whatever, or if I, see something with strangers,
Random, sure.
or if I'm sitting at a doctor's office. And I will start to create a story for this person that I've never even heard speak.
Right.
And their backstories. And they're not accurate. I don't even know who they are. But in my brain, I'm somehow trying to justify these people and their existence and whatever behaviors they're exhibiting. And then I start talking about it. And then suddenly we're all talking about it like this is legitimately the story.
Right.
And there's no story. I've just made it up. I remember specifically when I knew that I was really good at this.
Okay.
I was working at VSP, Vision Service Plan. I had been there for maybe 2 weeks. And when you go through training as a customer service rep, you're not allowed to talk to anyone yet until they know that you know the material. Because it's insurance. There's like a crap ton of rules and stuff like that. And so I eventually got to start answering phone calls, but my supervisor had to listen to every single call.
Sure.
So
normal.
Right. Just to make sure that you're not lying to anyone or whatever.
Call center stuff is normal.
So this older gentleman calls because a lot of people who have vision insurance are older. Sometimes they call because they don't know anything. So they're like, I know I have this insurance. So he calls and is like, I know I have this insurance. And I get his information pulled up on my screen. Very little information because he's inactive. I remember this vividly because he's like, oh, and so an older elderly gentleman who has no idea that he no longer has insurance, at least according to us, I start making it up. I start going, well, it's possible that there's been an error and maybe it's under a different social security number. That's very possible. And I'm literally making up things as to why I can't find him. So I finally hang up the call and my supervisor comes over and she's like, well, I have to tell you a couple of things. One, you couldn't have been more wrong. Two, the way you were talking, I actually started pulling out books going, maybe she knows more than I do because I'm believing everything she's saying right now. And I said, oh, really? She goes, Jamie, stop making shit up. You don't even know. And I'm like, you're right. I don't. But that is my talent.
You are the queen of backstories.
Right.
No question.
Right. Okay.
So, with that in mind,
yes,
I thought it would be funny to try a couple of things, although we'll probably just do one today.
Unless you can think of another one.
Unless I can think of another one. There are two kinds of ways to go about this backstory challenge, if you will. The first is to simply give you a scenario and let you go, which is great. The second is to give you a scenario, let you go, and then the story actually be a real one and see how close you can get, or how much, either how close you can get to what actually happened, or maybe that yours is funnier than the actual one, or something like that. So I think the best way to start, because we're kind of feeling this out a little bit, is I'm just going to give you a picture. I'm going to describe it because I know it's podcasting, not television.
There's no video.
So I'm going to give you a picture and then just let you go. But I'm going to describe the picture before I show it to you so that everybody knows. And then we'll post it. Right? We'll post the picture. So I'm calling this girl on a train.
Okay, so first of all, I just want everyone to know I have no prior knowledge. I'm like the Long Island medium.
Yes.
I've seen and done nothing.
Nothing.
I know nothing.
Yeah, I pulled this morning. I just pulled this picture and thought, okay, let's see how she goes from
I hope
here.
I hope I can do this under pressure.
Well,
I'm a little
let's
worried.
see. Well, that's why we're testing it, right?
So here we go.
All right, so this is Girl on a Train.
Okay.
The picture is a picture, for the most part, that I have seen many, many times, being the public transportation expert that I am.
Okay.
They're basically on like a subway.
Okay.
Right? She's standing, and she's clearly waiting to get off because she's facing the door. Like her back is to everybody else on the train. She is waiting to just walk off. So her stop is probably next.
All right.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you this picture. I want you to look. There's the main picture and then a zoomed in version of it on the bottom. So look at this picture and then describe what you see.
Woman holding a sledgehammer.
Okay. So she is on a subway, getting ready to get off the train. And for some reason...
She has a really nice purse, too.
Yeah, she's got looks perfectly normal, with the exception of the fact that she is holding a full sledgehammer, almost like a cane.
Yeah, it's really a big one.
Yes. So...
Okay.
So girl on a train, sledgehammer...
Okay, well, I have two thoughts.
Okay.
The first one that came to my mind is that because of what she looks like, she's a model and she's heading to a shoot and she's bringing her own prop. That's the first one. But the second one is that this is probably not realistic, but this is just what I immediately thought, is her boyfriend is a construction worker and he left a piece of equipment at home and she's got to bring it to the work site. And so she's like a really fucking good girlfriend to do this because he probably is already in trouble for losing tools, and tools are expensive, and that's not a new one. You can tell it's not new.
Right.
So she's dragging this thing to him so that he doesn't get fired so they can go to Hawaii next summer, because if he loses his job, they're going nowhere. And she clearly is, someone who deserves to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, because she's
a cute girl.
Well, at least we can't see her face, but she's got long hair and, but so that's amazing. This is exactly the kind of thing that you do. I don't know if you have any other thoughts or any other scenarios.
Well, yeah, she's pissed because she's got her hip cocked. Do you see?
Right.
She's mad. If I saw them, I'd be like, oh, she's taking that to a man.
So funny you should say that, because the headline on this was that because there was no story.
Oh.
They just posted the picture.
Okay.
Somebody's got it. This was clearly taken by somebody else on the train, right? The headline said, somebody's Valentine's Day did not go well. So that's that one. And then I had another one where I was going to give you a picture and then tell you the real story, but you saw it on the printer and you'd already read the news story. So
well, I read the news story. It's the one where the gentleman was skiing in New York and he clearly suffered some kind of head injury and ended up in Sacramento with us over here somewhere at the airport.
Yeah.
I don't know how no one ever even bothered to ask him why he was wearing ski boots or goggles. I mean, he just literally traveled from New York to Sacramento with $1,000 in his pocket, no ID, and he said he sold his phone at some point. And he doesn't even remember.
Yeah, he ended up buying a phone. Yeah, called his wife. Yeah, said her nickname, lost contact. They lost connection. She was able to get him back.
That's crazy.
And then she said, you have to call 911. Yes. And they're just trying to, it's 6 days.
I know.
6 days he doesn't remember. So.
And he's very thin. So I'm wondering if he didn't eat.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he remembers hurting his head. He remembers being in a big rig of some kind. Maybe he hitched a ride all
the way to Sacramento. I don't know how you do that. I literally don't know how that happens.
I don't know. It's anyway. So I was just going to give you his picture and say, tell me, because you could see he was at an airport. He had a ski jacket on, which was weird to have on.
He had goggles on his head still.
Right. So I was going to give you that.
Where was he going to go?
And then let you do the backstory.
Yeah,
but you had seen it. So
and it's kind of sad.
It's a really sad story.
Sad. So do you have any other ones?
No, those are the only two that I had this time.
Can't pull anything out of your ass right now?
Well, no. I don't know. I mean, nah. I want to do, because you obviously have a gift. In fact, we tested this.
We have been given a gift.
It is a gift. It's hilarious. In fact, I think when Natalie was out, when my daughter was out from Virginia, we went up to Apple Hill and hung out, and we were at this one farm, and we were joking about how good you were at backstories, and I literally gave you one like that.
Yes.
All of us were dying laughing within 2 minutes. So
well, it was you gave me it was a softball.
Yeah.
It was the old man with the pacifier in his I mean, how do you not know what's going on there? Anyway.
Yeah.
So all right, well, I think you need to be a little more prepared next time. Have like 3 or 4.
I was on short notice for the record. I've known less than 24
options.
Hours. All right. I will.
And you know how I need my options.
Yes, you
and
do.
Then that way we can go
Muppet.
through. Yes, my Muppet options requires options. So then next time, maybe you can conspire with Paula and she can offer up some backstory.
Yeah, I mean, I was just, I had to, but then as we were coming up to record, I realized you had seen it. So I'll be more prepared next time.
Thank you. Okay, very, very quick before we go to our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
Yes.
A little sports talk.
Okay.
Just a little, since you're a boy and you're
Pitchers
here.
and catchers. Woo!
Okay, spring training has begun. Pitchers and catchers have been reported to the Cactus League, which is the San Francisco Giants League,
And
which
then
is
the Grapefruit League, which is Florida.
yeah, but we don't care about
We do
Florida's
not.
Grapefruit League. What we do care about is the Giants. And
Yes.
are you feeling hopeful this year?
Very much so. We
you
got
like
some
the
really
people
good
that
players.
they signed? You like how the direction is going?
Very much so.
And although we're very disappointed that Barry Bonds once again did not make the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
he is going to get his number retired
Yep.
in August, which
Yep.
is exciting. And you don't even want to go to that game. You said you weren't really interested in going. It's Pirates.
Yeah. Well, it's Pirates because that's who he
I
started
know.
his career with.
Yes, I'm aware.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's really cool that he's getting it. You know, my personal opinion, he's not my favorite Giant. He is a top, but
Well,
but
Will
I
Clark
think
is-
I think he should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame.
Me
It's
too.
ridiculous that he's not there, especially given some of the other people that are there
Right.
and are getting in who were in the same era as he was. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard for the average Joe to think he deserves it because he can be such an asshole, but he's ridiculous.
Well, like you said to me, like you know.
that doesn't mean anything though. Just because there's racists in the Hall of Fame, for God's sake.
Thank you. Babe
Yeah.
Ruth was an asshole. Ty Cobb was a dick and a womanizer. It's
yeah.
like if
It
that
doesn't
was
matter
the judging, it
that there
doesn't
be
matter.
no Hall of
and
Fame.
Yet, and yet the drug thing, which by the way he's never been convicted of, is keeping
Right.
him out of the Hall. So
Right.
And quite frankly, there wasn't hardly anyone not doing shit at that time. So
Yeah,
but
that's
just
true.
me.
That is true. Okay,
So,
and then
anyway.
secondly, huge disappointing news to me, and I don't know why. I think I
right.
do know why, but I think it's money. Sebastian Janikowski is retiring from the Raiders, but he's going free agent, which means he's not ready to stop kicking footballs yet.
I have a theory on why that's.
I am so disappointed because I just got my goddamn Janikowski Raiders jersey a year ago, and now it's defunct. Not that it matters because, you know, Marshawn Lynch may not return either. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
But I'm actually, I take that back. I remember you and I talking about it. I said, I want to get that jersey because he's going to retire like real soon.
Been kicking for 18 or 19 years. Yes, of course.
And so I figured, you know, it's now a collector's item.
Yeah.
That's not why I got it. He's my favorite Raider.
Yeah.
But it's still, he's the OG. He's the only OG Raider right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, well, not anymore. He's gone. And there's talk about him going to the Chargers. There's talk about him going to, I don't know, wherever.
Well, everybody needs a big kicker.
He's amazing.
Here's what I think. I don't think it's money. I just think he got hurt.
Yeah, his back.
And he has too long of a career. He's already the leading point scorer for the Raiders. He is going into the Hall of Fame. All of
Yeah.
those things and he'll go in as a Raider.
Oh, I hope so.
All of those things are going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just that if you've been doing it for that long, you want to decide when you
end.
go.
You don't want the team to tell you you're done.
Right, and it wasn't the team's fault that he's hurt.
No.
Like I mean, he's old.
He's
He's
40.
old. He got hurt.
Yeah.
You know, they had to make a decision.
39.
They made the decision, and so I'm sure he would love to come back. But the problem is, and kick again. The problem
They got that rookie.
is that I don't even think it's. I think they take him healthy over this rookie any day of the week. Here's the problem: he has been in the league 18 years. You don't pay a guy like that league minimum.
No.
You've got to pay him $10, $15 million, which
Right.
is unheard of for a kicker of that age for that long. And so he doesn't deserve the pay cut, but the
Right.
Raiders have a big salary to pay.
Yeah.
They have Derek Carr, one of the highest paid guys in the league. And so-
Garoppolo is now. Isn't that crazy?
what a fucking joke that is. Oh my God. Guy has 6 decent games.
I know. Well, hey,
You know
Colin Kaepernick, they thought he was the second coming, and you saw how that turned out.
Oh,
he
he's-
had one great season.
No, but he's
Better.
Well, that's another discussion because that guy should fucking be in the league.
Yeah.
He is better than 8 quarterbacks
Absolutely.
out there right
Oh,
now
of course.
with starting
Well,
jobs.
Look,
But
we all
no,
know why
anyway.
he's not in the league.
Well, of course.
But yes, if Johnny Manziel comes back, I swear to fucking God,
Oh my
I
God,
will
what a
lose
jerk
it.
That guy is. So
If Kaepernick doesn't get back in, if
that-
Manziel gets in.
oh my God.
Drive me nuts.
nuts. And so anyway, so I don't think that guy should be the highest paid guy. That's ridiculous.
Well, I just feel like what happens is I just think they keep raising the salary bar. He's not going to be the highest paid quarterback for long.
No, but
that's my point.
I being the team that they are,
Yeah.
I hope that he comes back and throws 2 complete passes all year. I fucking hate the Niners. I hope he has the biggest sophomore slump in the history of football.
Do you know?
And I don't even know who this guy is. I know his name, but
he was the backup for Tom Brady.
I know.
Okay, so
And now he's getting paid more than Tom Brady by a team that's not going to win 8 games.
yeah, I know. You know, it's really funny. A lot of people ask us, why are we Raider fans and Giants fans and not Raider A's or Giants Niner? And I can't explain it other than this. My parents, back in the day when they were married, before my mother could legally divorce anyone, because that was the 70s, my mom went to school with Jim Plunkett, who is is he in the Hall of Fame?
No, but should be.
He should be.
Yep. No question.
Yeah, he's an OG Raider.
Yeah.
She went to high school with Jim Plunkett, so I was born being a Raider fan.
Right.
Interestingly, my father is a hardcore, diehard Niner fan. He was a Montana guy all the way before that even.
So he got on that bandwagon and stuck on it.
He was a Niner fan before that.
Before they were good?
Yes.
All right.
He was. And
because they were horrible before they were good.
But I went to, not hundreds, but I went to so many Oakland A's games.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. We went
to
so many games.
I was born and lived in I wasn't born there, but as long as I can remember, I lived in the East Bay. I could take BART. I could practically ride my bike to the Coliseum if I wanted to. I mean, absolutely could have done Oakland, but I have my reasons why I don't.
I was a convert when I met you. I was an A's fan. And baseball was not my number one sport. It's football.
Sure.
But I was an Oakland fan. And then, even when I watched Moneyball, I got to tell you, man, my heart was singing. Yeah. I loved it.
That's when the A's were.
I loved it.
That was pretty exciting.
So it wasn't a hard transition. It's hard to hate the Giants. They're amazing.
For me, I don't hate the A's. Like, it has nothing to do with the A's. It has nothing to do with that. I do hate the Dodgers, but I don't.
Everyone hates the Dodgers.
So here's me. I am admittedly a baseball purist.
Yes.
And so I think that even though the A's were in my backyard, I could not vote for them because of the fucking designated hitter.
Right.
I think that's ridiculous. I think it's money baseball because they don't want the pitchers to hit. Babe Ruth was a pitcher. Like, I don't that's, I think, the rules and the fact that causes the game to last like 5 hours most of the time.
True.
So I am not anti-A's or anything like that. I am just anti-American League because I call it, as you know, fake baseball.
Fake baseball.
Right. So that's my reason for leaning toward the Giants when I was a kid, and it just stuck.
So ladies, during the sports segment, you may want to go ahead and give this podcast to your man if you have one. Gentlemen, enjoy the man version of the podcast.
Wait a minute.
Or diehard female sports fanatics who are finding this all incredibly interesting. It's always fun to listen to a man pontificate about his passion for his team. So, just forward those comments to Ugly Truth Facebook.
Just for the record, we are in episode 252.
Yes.
And that is, at best, the fourth sports talk ever.
Yeah, once a year.
Oh, except one exception to that, when
UFC.
you and Paula talk about UFC every week.
Yeah, but we talk about the UFC because the men are so attractive.
Whatever.
We're talking about what it would be like to have sex with them. We're not talking about their fighting, God, or their gross ears or something.
Why do we ever even buy pay-per-view? Because all you guys care about is the free weigh-ins anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
anyway,
because I want what I want.
Thus ends the sports section for the year.
Go Giants.
Go Giants.
Suck an egg, Raiders. Keep Janikowski, which even though I know you're not going to. Anyway, let's do our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
Okay.
Now, as the guest, you may go first.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do actually have one.
I know.
I feel like I have a better one, and now I can't remember what it was, but I still have one.
Well, I might be able to remember after you tell yours.
Okay.
So go.
As you may recall, I recently acquired a pole saw.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, you did.
So a pole saw, for those of you, for the ladies in the room, no.
Oh my God.
I'm totally kidding.
My God. Me too. Me too.
I'm totally kidding.
Sorry,
no, it's a small, like 8-inch blade chainsaw on the end of a pole, so you can
just Google it. Don't listen to him mansplain this to you people.
Sorry.
Google it.
Damn
Go.
It. All right.
Educate yourself, you menace.
No, I don't want to make myself an expert in this story at all. So.
Okay.
So
actually, what's funny is this pole saw. You're like, you can actually use this one, Jamie, because you won't cut your hand off.
because it's 8 feet from you.
You won't let me have a chainsaw.
So
Which I still
we have a plum tree in the backyard that's very large, and we should have trimmed it earlier because you're supposed to cut those things down every year, and I didn't do it, and so
that's what I say to myself in the shower when I look at my pubic hair.
Oh Jesus!
Go on.
In the past, I have literally climbed into the tree and used a handsaw to do this.
Now
thing.
I can only think of my pubic hair. I'm so go on.
Jesus
you
Christ!
Just climb into there. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's a thin strip. Okay, it's a thin strip. It is not a jungle in there. There's no situation going on.
Can't say the same for your other co-hosts. From what
You don't get to talk about my sister's pubic hair.
I'm not. I listen to the show like everybody else.
All right.
Anyway, so back to my pole saw. So I use it. It's great. You know, I'm probably trimming branches that are much too long for the size of the pole saw and everything, but I get the tree trimmed. Everything's down, right? So I've got all the trees in a stack, and so now I'm going to start chopping them up a little smaller so that I can get them in the like the green recycle, right? Because I can't put these 8-foot long things in. So,
and by the way, in California, we do have recycling for our green.
We do. I can't just burn in the backyard.
No, there's no burn days here. Pollution.
So, you polluters. So. Anyway, so now I've trimmed the whole tree. Now they're just in a stack, and now I'm just trying to trim them into smaller sections so I can put them in this can. And so I'm doing it, and I'm feeling pretty cocky, and I'm just going through them with the chainsaw, and then I lean down and take a full-on stick in the eye. I mean, like
what?
Yeah, like you know the phrase, "Here's a sharp stick in your eye."
You got a sharp stick in your eye?
Totally got a sharp stick in my eye.
How did you do that?
Everything was laying down like in a pile.
Yeah.
And I was trimming it.
Did it fling up?
Yes. And I went to reach down, and one of them, it didn't like fly up, but as I was cutting, it stopped.
Oh, no.
And no, it's not big. It's a twig, but it was like
it does not feel like a twig when it hits your eyeball.
And so I had a major pouty moment. I literally dropped this. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't care if the can's not full yet. I'm done. So I gave myself a break.
You gave yourself a break.
My awkward moment was a sharp stick in the eye. Literally.
Oh my God.
So
that is pretty epic.
Yeah.
That's an epic awkward moment. That's something I would do.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's a good one. So.
Of course,
I hadn't told you, so
I would have done it and been like, would Daryl still love me if I lost my eye? I wonder.
Yes.
I'd let him make fun of me, though.
Yes.
We've discussed the thought of me losing an eye. Remember, this has come up more than once.
Not as much as you dying, but yes, you losing an eye.
I know, but remember when they said that I had freckles in my eye and they wanted to check on them because they thought one was a mole?
Right.
And I said, what if it's cancer? God. What if it's cancer? Will you still love me if I have a glass eye? Or will I have to leave it a hole and get a patch? I mean, we don't even know. If you lost your eye, mm-hmm. I would insist upon a glass eye.
You would?
Yes.
I can't do the Kurt Russell.
No, I don't want a patch. Thing. Because what if it comes off in your sleep and then I have to see a hole?
It wouldn't be a hole.
Would you sew it shut?
Well, what else do you do?
I don't know.
You don't have a hole.
So my awkward moment, You kind of know what it is. It was a very Peter Sellers moment.
Oh, right.
Very Pink Panther. And those kind of moments, to me, are the ultimate awkward moments. Mm-hmm. Only because the Pink Panther, Peter Sellers, did it all the time in his movies, which that's why they were so hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were at Costco and we were getting food because we were having a family dinner, and we have a lot of kids. And so we thought we should go and get a bunch of stuff.
Right.
So Costco has a vegetable section where you can buy big packs of everything. And I love making tomato salad. Right. It's my favorite thing in the world. And so I'm looking at the tomatoes, and the problem with Costco, sometimes in all grocery stores, is that the bottom will get moldy because the vegetables have been sitting, and most of them are organic
and stacked on a pallet.
Right. And so you just want to take a look and make sure you're not buying a bunch of moldy tomatoes. And these are the little cherry tomatoes. So I pick up this 3-quart or whatever.
Oh, it had to be at least 1.5 pounds.
It was 1.5 pounds of cherry tomatoes in this plastic clam. And you turn them over and you just look. And I had my thumbs on it. So because I have learned that if you turn it over, sometimes the little tape doesn't stick.
Sure.
So I look, I'm like, oh, this looks like a good pack of tomatoes. And I turn it over, and one thumb wasn't there. And all of a sudden, 2 pounds of tomatoes coming out of the pallet. And I'm standing there holding it. And the thing is, if you're like me, you're like, okay, well, what do I do? Do I just, am I that savage who just leaves it? Or do I clean them up and have some poor person buy a box of tomatoes that I fingered literally every single one? Like, which is the worst, right? Yeah. So I decided to leave it because
You're a savage.
Maybe some Costco employees will clean it up and eat them or something. They'll wash them off and eat them.
They'll clean them off and eat them?
Well, they're not going to throw them away.
What is it, a third world country employees or something?
I don't know. I'm just saying that maybe they'll go, oh, that sucks that these opened up. We'll just scoop them up and we'll put them in a colander, rinse them off, and eat them in the break room.
Shut the hell up. That's not going to happen.
You don't know. You don't know. And so then when I'm standing there trying to decide what to do, an old man with a cane starts hobbling toward me, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to tell me to clean it up. So I dropped everything and just ran away. I'm such a dork. I'm such a dork.
Well,
I swear to God.
Honestly,
I don't even know what to do.
I swear to God, I thought I was going to win until you explained the part about you thinking that the Costco employees were going to pick up your mess and all go backstage behind, back in the employee break room and make a tomato salad out of the shit that you had just dropped all over the place.
You don't know their lives.
Neither do you.
Well, I don't think that they are wasteful people.
I see.
I think that they will retrieve those.
I think they get fed quite well at the Costco. There's plenty of sampling going around. So.
Oh my God, I know. I hate it. All right.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, I want to give you like 12,000 points for sticking a needle in, or stick in your eye.
Thanks.
But
I'll take my 12 if you'll give them to me. Give me at least a little bit. I don't have to win. I just need some points.
Well,
okay.
I don't get to reward my points. You have to reward my points.
Well, it was gonna be a solid 5,000, but I
5,000 points.
I think the fact that you're feeding the masses at Costco.
I'm feeding the employees at Costco.
Since you're donating
So really
food,
it was a good thing. It was a good deed.
See, you should go around and do that more often.
I should just start dumping out food everywhere and let people eat.
I have seen many a checker at Costco. I don't feel like they're hungry, but nonetheless, you win. I'm going to give you 15,000 points.
Oh, wow. Really? Well, thank you. I haven't won in a long time.
An extra 10K for the feeding of the Costco employees.
Oh, and by the way, if you're still listening, listeners,
still listening.
Thank you so much for submitting your awkward moments. Please continue.
Right. Yeah.
We are getting some really good ones, and we share those on our Wednesday show. Please submit. You have no idea how easy it is to be awkward.
Yes.
And we love all of those. We love them all so much. So we'll be reading some more next week.
Use Facebook Messenger to keep it private if you want.
Or you can DM me on Twitter because I haven't been blocked on anything yet. So please. All right. Well, we could continue talking, but we should probably take it down a notch and wrap it up.
Little housekeeping stuff.
Okay.
Some shout outs to if you are looking for a new app to do your podcasts on. You'll notice our last couple of shows are brought to you by the PlayAPod app.
Yes.
We think it's great. It's a cool new cross device, so it picks up where you left off on a show, even if you're bouncing from tablet to your phone or whatever. So definitely check that out.
Yes.
So we're on that. We are also on YouTube, if you didn't know that. We have our own YouTube channel that the podcast posts.
One day, I promise, I will install cameras on our podcast and you'll get to see us being weird. But until then, until I get a makeup person and lose 25 pounds, you will not see that.
Right.
But we will be on YouTube, in all seriousness. We will actually be doing visual someday.
And the other thing that I'll announce is that I got word that we are very close to being included on Spotify. So
finally,
if you're a Spotify fan, we should be in there pretty quickly. We had a technical glitch, so we're getting that fixed. And just love it. There's lots of ways to support the show. And then obviously we want you supporting the show, not just by listening, but by Amazon and Avon. Yes.
Yes. No, really, for real. Avon is not old lady stuff. I forever thought that, but it's not. And I'm really delving into it now. Like I'm really looking into the brand, and I'm finding that they're kind of catching up with the new makeup trends. I am always hesitant to try skincare products because I have super sensitive skin, and my face is my moneymaker.
It is.
So
you got several moneymakers, but your face is the best one.
So I am going to try their skincare line and see how that goes. But I do love their makeup brands and stuff. So with that being said, check it out yourself. At the very least, sign up and get notifications.
Yeah.
Then you can find stuff that you might be willing to try.
Just go uglytruth.com, UGLEE truth.com/shop, and that's how you can support the show.
Right. Right.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. You want me to wrap it up?
Thank you, Producer Deb, for coming in.
Thanks. Love you.
Love you too.
All right.
Bye.
That's a wrap. Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.